Diddy is back in the headlines, and this time it's not for the usual reasons. The rumor that had been circulating for months is finally becoming reality. Diddy is broke. Completely broke. Even his lawyers are on the verge of turning against him because there's nothing left to pay them with. And just wait until you hear how Cassie managed to drain almost everything he had just days ago.
Not really try to overdo it with the theme, but just, have it be more sophisticated and more minimalistic.
That's right you are. And please tell me about your look tonight. You look amazing.
I'm wearing head to toe Tom Brown, and I just wanted to be, at my Sunday's best.
The craziest part is that once you start looking at the lawsuits, raids, frozen assets, and all the people suddenly cutting ties with him, it becomes clear his empire is already gone.
You ready? You ready?
Line up, please. Come on, guys.
Diddy's name once represented private jets, all-white parties, and endless streams of money. But now, his income has dropped so drastically that even his own lawyers are rumored to be preparing to flip on him just to protect themselves. The man who once proudly called himself the Black Sinatra is desperately trying to hold his empire together, while federal investigators, ex-girlfriends, and former business partners circle like vultures. This isn't just a fall from grace, it's a live collapse. And the deeper you go, the darker it gets. For years, Diddy bragged about making money even while he slept. Every party, every interview, every boast was centered around the idea that his empire was unstoppable, always printing cash. But today, that machine hasn't just slowed down, it's completely shut off.
Basically, I was called to have a meeting with Diageo, and they knew that I was kind of killing things in the culture, and they were trying to fix their diversity problem. And through that, a meeting was set up, and I told them, I want to be an owner.
The first major blow came when his partnership with Diageo, the company behind CROC and DeLeon, fell apart. That deal was the foundation of his business mogul persona, but after legal battles and racial discrimination claims, it collapsed. No more CROC checks, even though that deal was rumored to have brought him tens of millions each year. That was his champagne money gone. Then came Revolt. His media platform was supposed to be his black-owned MTV moment, but as lawsuits and investigations mounted, Revolt quickly distanced itself. Eventually, reports surfaced that he sold his majority stake. Translation: another cash stream gone dry. And of course, Cassie's lawsuit in late 2023 changed everything. That settlement was not only costly on its own, but it also opened the door for other women to file lawsuits. Each new case costs money to fight, money to settle, and money to prevent complete reputation destruction. Add to that the fact that brands, festivals, and networks won't touch him anymore. And suddenly the man once called hip-hop's richest by Forbes is frozen out of every revenue source. Even royalties aren't safe. Artists who helped build Bad Boy Records are trying to distance themselves. The industry isn't calling, clubs aren't booking, and sponsors won't even pick up the phone. Imagine going from bragging that no one could out-hustle you to waking up and realizing your bank account hasn't moved. That's where Diddy is right now, and when the money stops, so does the loyalty. That's why the story gets even crazier, because the very people he paid to protect him, his own lawyers, might be preparing to talk. Lawyers are supposed to be the ones who stay solid. Right. But when the checks stop and you're facing time in a federal jail, even your legal team starts planning their exit. That's exactly where Diddy is. Back in February 2025, his high-profile attorney, Anthony Ricco, abruptly quit, giving one of the most cryptic exits ever. "I cannot continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs." No explanation. Gone. That move alone had people speculating about what really happened behind the scenes. Fast forward to July, and Diddy's verdict came in. Not guilty on the most serious racketeering charges, but guilty on 2 counts of transporting for prostitution. While he avoided the worst, he's still facing up to 20 years in prison, and that has his lawyers questioning if this case is worth the risk. Here's the issue in high-profile cases like this. Lawyers can sometimes become witnesses if investigators think they had knowledge of or involvement in wrongdoing. And if they feel the heat getting too close, flipping can look like the safer option. When your money is gone, loyalty becomes a luxury. Remember, Diddy once made nearly $1 billion from his Diageo deals with CROC and DeLeon. That money tree has been cut down, and his legal team is watching their paychecks disappear. Not long ago, Diddy was flying private, living in multi-million-dollar estates across Miami and LA, partying in VIP sections, and enjoying billionaire status. That lifestyle has now hit a hard reset. Let's talk numbers. In 2018, Forbes estimated his net worth at $825 million. By mid-2024, just before his legal troubles exploded, that had already dropped to $400 million. And that was before the raids, the lawsuits, and the frozen assets. His fashion line, Sean John, lost all value after Macy's dropped it. Even his catalog of hits, while still worth something. His radioactive publishers don't want anything directly tied to his name. On top of that, over 50 civil lawsuits are still pending. Cassie's $20 million settlement was just the beginning. If more plaintiffs win, he could be forced to pay much more. With his assets locked and lawsuits piling up, we're about to see just how long even a billionaire can survive. Because this isn't just a legal mess, it's the kind of downfall most moguls only experience in movies. His life went from red carpets to jail cells. And it happened fast.
And we are following breaking news right now coming out of South Florida. Chopper 6 live right now. This is over the Star Island home of rapper P. Diddy, where 4 law enforcement sources tell NBC News that a search warrant has been executed by federal agents with Homeland Security investigations. Now we're hearing another search warrant has been executed at his home in Los Angeles.
Then there's the raid drama. In March 2024, federal agents stormed his Star Island mansion in Miami and his Holmby Hills estate in Los Angeles. They seized electronics, weapons, drugs, thousands of bottles of baby oil, condoms, sex toys, lingerie, and even AR-15 rifles with scratched-off serial numbers. These raids weren't for show. They proved prosecutors were extremely confident in their case. With Homeland Security, the FBI, NYPD, and LAPD all working together, it meant they already had a strong case built. Meanwhile, his real estate empire is collapsing. That $61.5 million Holmby Hills mansion. He tried to sell it but only got offers around $30 million, less than half. That's not selling, that's liquidation. His $50 million bail was denied 3 times because prosecutors argued he was a flight risk and a danger to the community. Now he's stuck in the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, one of the toughest federal jails around. Last month, his trial hit its climax. He was acquitted of the big racketeering charges but convicted of transporting for prostitution. So even with partial wins, he's still behind bars, waiting for sentencing. The walls aren't just closing and they're crashing down. For someone who once lived like royalty, this is a nightmare. But it gets worse. In hip-hop culture, nothing is more damaging than being labeled a snitch. Yet, when the feds close in like this, self-preservation often beats loyalty. Insiders are already cracking. We saw it when Rico quit earlier this year. That wasn't just quiet. It was a signal that people inside his circle don't want to sync with him. And in federal cases, once one domino falls, the rest usually follow. Prosecutors thrive on flipping insiders, lawyers, assistants, bodyguards, pilots, ex-girlfriends. Any of them could become witnesses. Homeland Security testified during the trial that they seized phones and hard drives with tens of thousands of messages and files. That's a buffet of evidence. And it only takes one insider to unlock the rest. With 50 civil lawsuits still pending, there's no shortage of people willing to talk. The irony is, brutal Diddy built his brand on being untouchable, on the mantra, can't stop, won't stop. But now, the feds are counting on his own people to stop and start talking. And history shows they usually do. Look at Tekashi 6ix9ine's crew. Look at Suge Knight once. The money dries up, so does the loyalty. The music industry has been ghosting him too. Former collaborators who were once by his side at every party are now silent. Jay-Z quiet, Kanye, busy with his own mess. Usher, nowhere in sight. The silence is deafening. Cassie's lawsuit was the turning point. After she settled for $20 million, more women came forward. And suddenly the industry began treating Diddy like he didn't exist. Bad Boy Records, once a powerhouse, is losing relevance. Younger artists won't even shout him out, and veterans want their catalogs separated from his name. Imagine being the man who brought Biggie to the world. And now artists want your name erased. Here's the cold truth. In celebrity culture, loyalty only lasts as long as the money does. Once your reputation is torched, everyone acts like they never knew you. Even if Diddy tried to stage a comeback party, who would show up? No one wants to be seen supporting him. And that's the ultimate irony. He built an empire on being untouchable. But in 2025, the very people who once called him a genius are pretending he never existed. His lawyers are scrambling. Insiders whisper that he's considering cutting deals that would throw former allies under the bus. But even that might not work, because how do you negotiate when the entire world already believes you're guilty? If this really is the end, then Diddy's story will go down as one of the most shocking, cautionary tales in entertainment history. A man who once ruled the 90s, with Biggie, built billion-dollar brands, and stood next to presidents is now broke, alone, and bleeding money by the day. So is this the end of Diddy? Unless something miraculous happens, yes, what began as whispers has become a complete implosion. His empire hasn't just fallen, it's detonated. From platinum plaques to prison cells, from billion-dollar brands to frozen accounts. One thing is undeniable, this isn't a scandal, it's a collapse. And the whole world is watching.